Slowly I began to listen, perhaps to the words that I had never heeded. And then all at once, they became the most compelling words that I'd listened to. And it was truly a moment of change, because a little bit of me is kind of stubborn, but a lot of me just wanted to be part of the gang. So what is it that I do that I want you to see? And after all of my faults, maybe you can see the change and see the direction that I've chosen to go back to. In other words, this whole presentation is to return to you that which you've lost. I'm going to show you the pathway that I took. It may be a little bit different for you, but first of all, I had to change what I was eating, what drove me for my energy, and what drove me to clean my body, which I knew I had to do. So it's within that realm that I began to look into some of my old habits. And I must tell you that I've written them down, but the capacity to notice. You see, we have been told in our educational background not to be a part of other people's life. And yet, I was brought up in a way that I had to be a part of your life and had to be gracious and humble in terms of addressing things that I saw you were doing. And I had to bring these to your attention, and I think that everybody working with somebody else in a job or a school or whatever, they know what's going on. And I think it's a duty that we have to present a case. But the most important thing is we have got to be living the life that we're getting ready to talk about. Now, I recognize the resistance in that, because change from things that were funny or having fun with are difficult to give up until you get down to my age and you go, wow, if I'd only known. And then suddenly that change comes about and you want to go back a bunch of years and talk to people and say such things as, there's a better way. And it's within that realm that we can simply stack up what we listen to, what affects us most, our performance, our purpose in life. And my purpose is first and foremost my children. And then after that, their children. And that gets to be exciting, because one of the ways of doing that is going to my friends outside of this and suggesting that since we're fighting these things called fatigue and stress and lack of sleep, maybe there's a solution outside of the one that got them into the problem they're in. And that becomes a good question as to, how did I get there? Or how did you get there? And if you answer that honestly, most people will say the exact truth. It was poor habits. I wasn't listening to this inner flame that I want you to ignite. And once that flame is lit and you go down a different road, I can tell you right now, it is a lot of fun. And it's profitable. First of all, physically. Secondly, emotional. To know that you're not putting things into your body by watching them that gives you a guilt trip. One of the first things that I've recognized that I had to do was to forgive myself. Once I did that, then I went to those people that I could remember that I offended, and I sought their forgiveness. And that allowed me to do some very deep cleaning and healing. And then all at once, just to recognize that what we had been taught was wrong. And I say that because that's the exact truth. We cannot put fuel in our body that burns outside of normalcy in creating energy. You cannot live on the world and in the world of stimulants and buffers and things of that nature and expect growth. You just can't do it. And what you do there, in terms of being quick about it and fast, and understand that this pursuit of wealth, financial wealth, and debt that comes with it is maybe not the best thing. Now, there are those that have managed to do that and pursue a lot of wealth, and they've forsaken their health. And that's a difficult thing to appreciate, because each and every one of them that have gone down that path. Now, if they're fortunate to become very wealthy and they're not healthy, I've not heard one of them look at me and say, I would give up my wealth for your health. And all I'm trying to do is demonstrate that I didn't know this. I simply followed some instructions that were laid out for me in an arena that I trusted, because I'd tried all of the others, and they brought me to a place that I was really quite ill. So won't you join me in pursuing this? You see, it costs nothing to look and listen. And the things that we're going to try to expose you to are free gifts. And it's things that we've experienced, that we know, and have a number of people that are saying the same thing, from loss of weight naturally to loss of diabetic issues, and even cardiovascular issues, and sleeping better. What a better testimony. If we could introduce that method, that road, to allow you to sleep better, where all of these things we're discussing, the cleaning of the body, the weight loss, the cleaning of the brain, all takes place at night. And you need to understand how it works. It's your body, it's your future, and when you've left it up to other people who don't know this side, maybe it's an opportunity to take a look at what we're doing and saying, you guys, as simple as you are, you might have an answer. Won't you join me, Steve Wilson, at the nefeshenergy.com. Take a look at what we're doing. 970-260-1740.